Gamer, back on Mars. This will be episode 4. We're going to finish up our atmospherics today. I have made a lot of ores, so my furnace is fired up, but I think we're going to wrap up atmospherics today, and then we'll see where we stand. I have done a couple things over here behind the scenes. I did make an IC chip, and I'll show you the programs here. An IC chip that does turn off, and I'll just let you look at this real quick. Does turn off the temperature. I defined all the filters, so it controls all the filters at once. I looked at the temperature sensor, the active vent, and when I load the temperature sensor, if it's greater than 283, which is around 10 Celsius, and it sets active vents to on. Actually, this SGT, I didn't really explain this the last time. Basically, this is save greater than or save less than. Basically, you're setting R0 to either 1 or 0 based on the number you got here. So if it's greater than 283, then it's going to save R0 as 1, and then I save active vent on whatever R0 is, in this case 1 if it's greater than 283, or 0 if it's not, and then I also set the filters to do the same thing on based on R0. So if the temperature is below 10, it shuts 10 Celsius. It shuts everything down, and it saves power that way. Actually, it's not a bad idea. But not only does it shut the active vent down, it shuts all my filters down. And I did put all the chips in the filters, so when anything gets up to the 18, oh, I was looking at got the wrong one in there. Anything gets above 18, now this is lower, it hasn't come back on, and that's next to my explanation list. But I used one of my 4 pipes, and what I did was I set a gas sensor here. I haven't turned any of this on yet, and I actually haven't made the chip to control it yet either. But I set all this gas sensor taking CO2, 20% CO2 and 80% oxygen, and I'm mixing it together. Then I got a pipe, I can turn this on. A pipe analyzer, there's no pressure in it yet because I haven't turned this on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a chip up, because this will just stay on. You can't turn this on and off based on a pressure. I wish you really could. I wish I had it set up like the filters, where you can measure the outside, the outgoing pressure, but you can't. If you could measure the outgoing pressure of this, you could set it to 3 megapascals, and you wouldn't need this. It must be right around 10. So it's, yeah, it's cold. I don't know. So it's going to turn off and on at 5 Celsius. I may have to look at that. Oh, I know why. Because this is running. So it's heating up the air over here. That's why the temperature's going up and down. Once that shuts off, there we go. Now it'll stay off. So this was actually affecting the temperature of my gas sensor here. That was weird, but explainable. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to set this to that when this reads 4 megapascals, turn the gas filter off and on. So let me pause real quick. I'll make a housing and a IC chip, and we'll get that taken care of. Okay, so while my IC chip is printing out, you notice it's above. If you look at my external temperature, it's above 10. Everything's turned on and running. That way I'm not pumping ice cold air into my tanks and causing problems. Now this quickly went back up to 18 megapascals. So this is now in idle, even though it's in on. But I'm saving additional power by, at night, turning everything off. Even if it's in idle, it turns it off. So I kind of like that setup. Anything that I can do to save power is always a plus to me. Alright, so let's turn that. Oops, I made 2 chips because I was talking, but that's okay. I'm sure I'll need that in the near future. Get rid of that. Okay, so let's put this down. Can I get around there? Nope, I'm not going to be able to do that. This is interesting. I don't know where I'm going to put this. Because I got to be on this side. Maybe I can do it this way. I don't want to tie into the... Nope, can't do it there. I don't want to tie into the battery or else there will be a nice explosive zap. So I guess I'll bring it over here. So... housing. And I need the clippers, so I gotta put that up there. Clippers, clippers, clippers. Okay. And I need the wire at the top. Wire at the bottom. Alright. So this is going to be a pretty quick and short code. Drop the laptop. Oop, drop the laptop. Put it on. Put that in there. And I'm just going to import this because it'll save me a little bit of typing. Oh, I did it wrong. Anyway. So, alias. I want to look at the gas mixer. So we'll do gas mixer. Make that D0. And I want to alias. I want to look at the analyzer. So as in fun, I'm going to put anal. Just because I can. Alias anal D1. Alright, I'll make it analyze. Anyway, so then we're going to do the nope, just start. Put 1. And put the yield in there to keep things from crashing. And then I'm going to load ANALZ nope, load's different. Load R0, analyze, and then we're going to load pressure. And then we're going to, you know what, let's do it this way. I'm learning this new type of code. Let's do let's save greater than R0.
Power low.
Can I do that way? Save R0, analyze, no. Save, nope, can't do that. I don't think. R0, A number, B number. Yeah, I think I can do that. I'll try it, see what happens. So this is going to save greater than instead of to either 0 or 1. No, I can't do that because it's not going to be 0 or 1. That was a good idea, but it ain't going to work. Load R0 pressure. Maybe I can do it down here, but I'll worry about that later. So we're going to BL and less than R0. We'll do 2000, and then I'm going to go turn on. And be greater than R0 4000. Now 4000 is 4 megapascals, of course. Turn off. And I should keep this. I don't use many capitals. It's just an extra keystroke. Must be under 10 degrees. It is. Everything just shut off. So I'm always going to put my jump start in here. Probably unnecessary. but it makes me feel better. Just in case it does equal 2,000 or it does equal 4,000, I don't want it to continue on. I want it to jump back to start until one of those conditions is either less than or greater than. Hopefully that makes sense. So then we go down here, turn on, and we want to save gas mixer on 1 jump start, and then turn off. Make sure both of those are blue. We're good. Save gas mixer on 0, and then jump start. There's probably an easier way to do this, but this is fine with me. I mean, that works for me. So that should do it. Let's confirm that. I got the chip in there, so we'll export it. I got 360 bytes, so that worked. I'm gonna pick this up so I don't kick it and send it halfway across the. I've done that, especially on BMOS. If you kick something or bump it, pooh, you'll be chasing it halfway across the planet. Alright, so you turn this on, let it air, turn it off. Now hopefully I don't got any weird errors in here. So I'm looking for the gas mixer. So did I label these? I did not, I don't believe. I want to label them so I know which is which, because I'm going to have more than one gas mixer probably. I will, as a matter of fact. Not right away, but I will. So this will be O2 CO2, and I'm just going to say mixer. Confirm, and this is the living air analyzer. Okay, that helps. So now I know which ones to look for over here. Okay, so I'm looking for the gas mixer, so I'm looking for the CO2 filtration. Oh, O2 CO2 mixer. Boy, that was close. Okay, so that's right. And I'm looking for the analyzer, so I'm looking for living air analyzer. Now, you want to monitor this in case you have some kind of programming error, so you don't over pressurize a pipe. So before I do that, make sure I got that. Yep. I'm going to turn this on, and I'm going to run down here. Now theoretically the gas mixer should be on, and it is. And once this gets up to 4 megapascals, it should stop pressurizing. Where's the Jeopardy tune? Do, do, do. I may be out of oxygen, by the way. I don't have a whole lot of oxygen. I am out of oxygen. So it may not get to the correct pressure, but that's okay. That's my next step, as a matter of fact. But I wish I had enough oxygen to test that. Well, it's going to go up, so there we go. It shut off. So we're safe. That program is working correctly. And I am not out of oxygen, but I am darn close. So I have my air pressurized. So now how do I control it inside? And this is pretty simple. And I'm going to make 2 quick regulators. This is how I do it. I know other people do it differently. I actually did it different on MEMAS as a test, and I wasn't satisfied with the results. It did work. It wasn't as controlled as this way. And let me run over here and swap my battery out real quick. And we're going to go, oh, not yet. I need two passive vents. I'm almost out of iron in this machine. I did make a bunch of ores behind the scenes. We should be... Oops, I didn't turn that on. So my two passive vents went flying. There's one here. And there's probably one inside here. Yep. Alright. So now we're going to go inside, take a break, and take my suit off because, as you can see, I'm starting to stink again. It's because I was outside mining. Now you notice I'm still at 30, well, I'm up to 51 because I did find some ice. I can turn that off now. And I ground 100 ice, so I added nitrogen in here. That's why I'm not too concerned at the moment about adding nitrogen into the room. When you do your greenhouse, you have to have some nitrogen in the room for some of the plants. Keep that in mind. Alright, so this is the one I've hooked that up to. So I'm going to set... Oh, that's a terrible way. I want it to go in. That'll work. So I'm going to set the inward pressure with a regular pressure regulator. And I'm going to set this, I have to back it off, advance it, and I want to set it, I will leave it at 100 to start with. That's a good number. And then put a passive vent on here. Now, since that's a pressure regulator, I don't have to control it at all. It controls itself, which is pretty nice. I gotta find another spot for that so I can pick up this. I'm going to throw this down. I got my hands pretty full again. And we're going to just wire that up. Now that's on the circuit with my lights. Doesn't matter. It's all on this side of the power controller out there. So if I need to control this for some reason automatically, I can do that from here. But I'm going to turn this on. Now it should be letting additional air in here. My pressure should be going up, and it is. So I now have my room pressurized eventually to the desired pressure of 100 kPa. Now, if you leave it just like this air inside here is going to get stale. In other words, if you run a bunch of plants in here, you're going to burn up all your CO2, and those pollutants, my OCD doesn't like that. That's from the one time I used the thing in here. That's only 0.12 moles, so it's not going to cause a problem. It's a number I don't like to see. It'll disappear eventually. Another reason I like to cycle my air. So how am I going to do that? And I don't have this hooked up on the outside yet, so I'm not going to turn this on, but I want to pick this up, and we'll put it on the pipe next to it. Now I want a back pressure regulator, and I want to face it the same direction. Let me think about this for a second. No, I'm going to face it I'm going to figure out how I'm going to wire this, but let's see. I want to keep the pressure inside the room. You always want to point the arrow in the direction of the room you want to control. So why can't I get that facing down? There it is. Alright, so we're going to leave it like that. I think that's facing down, yep. And I'm going to put that on here. And I'm going to, just so I empty the hand slot here, I'm going to put my passive. Now this is not the best of setups. Once I add more rooms, I'll move this to another room because I'm going to end up slowly venting the air that I've just put into the room. So, yeah, you know, not a huge deal, but it is not the best of setups. And what I could do, and I think I will, do I have any pipes? I have two. I can use inside pipes. The more I think about it, the more I don't like this idea of a wrench. So I'm going to take a couple of these and just separate this a little bit. I'll rearrange this later. Put it over here. I got 3 more pipes, 2 more pipes. That's good. And then I'll put the passive vent there. That way I'm not venting the air that's right next to the air that I'm bringing in. So with this back pressure regulator, like I said, I'm not going to turn it on yet because I don't have it piped to the outside. Although I don't think it would be a problem because I'm probably still not at 100. Why did I stop? Did I run out of it? That's probably it. I don't have any oxygen. So as a matter of fact, I'm going to turn this off until I get some more oxygen. Anyway, sidetracked. So now I want to cycle air through here. So if I have this set for 100, I want to set this to let air out at a lower number than 100. So I set this to 90. That means while this is trying to keep it to 100, this is going to try and keep it to 90. And that creates a circular airflow between my input and my output. Now I'm going to go out here because I want to see exactly why this stopped flowing, and I'm pretty sure it's because I don't have any oxygen and yeah, I got no air in there. Let me see if this is on. It is on. So I got no air flowing through there because it's trying to mix oxygen and it just doesn't have enough. And of course it's below 10, so nothing's running. So how do I fix this problem? Let me make a couple things and I'll tell you. I'll pause it for a second. Okay, so I got a handful of bauxites here. And I'm going to, basically I'm not going to sit here and bore you with this. I'm just going to make sure, whoa, that I have enough oxygen to keep my flow going here. And I am up to 4. It just went below. Did it? No. It's almost 10 degrees. I'm wondering if I'm actually pressurizing this now. I am. So it is I'm starting to gain ground on it. And I'm up to 4 here. I keep hearing it shut off. Unless it is close to 10, so there it goes. Okay. So what is the temperature? Now the ice makers keep things around 15 Celsius, which is an acceptable temperature to put in your room. You might need to add a heater inside here when you first start. It depends on how everything works out. Let's see if I'm up to pressure in here or not yet. You can tell by it. Nope, not quite. Is it still letting air in? Oh, I turned it off. That's right. Ah, there we go. So now it should be, and you can see the little air molecules. It's increasing the pressure now, so this should keep going as long as I have enough oxygen. And I could have filled the oxygen tank first, I guess, but I didn't. So here we are. Okay, that's still running. That's almost down below 2. I only have 200 kilopascals in there. Oh, because this isn't on now, is it? I wonder if I can't go past that. That's interesting. So temporarily, I'm going to turn that off and turn this on so I continue to fill the oxygen that's building up in here. Yeah, I got 239 moles. So now this should be filling up a little bit. As long as I didn't turn the other ones on, we're okay. And I didn't turn the active vent on either, so we're okay. And it is filling and I'm still gaining air, so slowly. Is this done? It is. Alright, well, I'm just going to keep doing this until I get some air built up in there, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this for a second so I don't bore you to death. Okay, something I just thought of. Since I'm turning this off at 10 Celsius, and I'm probably wasting some of this air by overpressurizing this, let me go to pollutant. 10 Celsius, 10, 10, 10. So that means I can now pressurize this to 3,000. We'll go with 3,000 and not have to worry about anything freezing. So I'm going to up this because I am blowing some of this ice air that I'm making out. You see, it was up to 3,000 because it makes the pressure faster than it can get rid of it. And the generator's running. And I'm up to 1 megapascal. So we're doing pretty good. I'll finish this. I'm going to put all my ice in there and then I'll be right back.
Power low.
Okay, so now while this is running and I'm building up my oxygen level, I can throw another one in there now. I got this turned off because this really does make it faster than the O2 filter can handle. So the pressure does shoot up above 3,000, and that 15 Celsius at the ice maker right there is up to 4. So you know, with the ice maker keeping it at 14 degrees, I'm not going to have any problems there. But now this pipe here is going to be my exhaust. That's the one I set that second pipe up to. Now I want to I don't want to waste air. So when I bring this air out of my living space, I'm going to inject it back into my air source, my you know, the input side of my filters. So to do that, all I have to do is bring a pipe up from here, perfect, and I'm going to go up so I don't hit my head on it. And it might be pretty good if I just go over here. I got 20 pipes, I hope that's enough. If not, I can make more. I actually ran out of silicone earlier. I was like, oh, I don't think I've run out of silicone very often. Now I can't go down. I don't want to interfere with the other two pipes, so we're going to do this with that one. Usually by the time I get my atmospherics, I have pipes running everywhere. If you want to be a little neater, that's certainly understandable. And I do paint these so I know what they are after a time. But there you go. So now I got my output pipe hooked up to my input side of my filter. So if I pull oxygen out of here, it's only going to get refiltered and put into the oxygen. And that's very handy for when you have plants, because your plant produces oxygen. So you take the excess oxygen and you put it into the pipes or into your tank, which is what you want. I don't have a good source other than oxide ice on Mars at the moment. So I'm up to 5 megapascals, so we're doing pretty good. This is pretty full. It is going down now. But that's because the CO2 is building up a little bit, because all of these are off.
Waste tank caution.
Once it gets above 10 degrees, that'll fix itself. Now I want to come in here for 2 reasons now. One, to check the pressure. So we're getting there. 2, to dump the CO2 in my tank.
Oxygen low.
Yeah. Okay. And I can also, while I'm in here and I did that, I can refill my oxygen tank.
Air tank critical. Low pressure.
Shut.
Oxygen low.
Okay. So, now I got this all hooked up. I can power that up. And I'm slowly coming up. Once you get closer to the temperature that you desire, or the pressure you desire, the regulator tends to go slower. So it'll take a while to get to 100 in here, but that's okay. Obviously, temperature is 17, so I could easily breathe in here without any issues. So I need a couple wires. I got 21. I was hoping I wasn't getting short. And I move stuff around all the time, so I'll just bring this across here. This is going to interfere with that other pipe. I'm going to have to work around that somehow, but that's okay. For now, this works. Now you see that little flash, that's because I hooked up a data. Now that's what I was talking about earlier. If you're making something big that takes forever, and you do that, you just lost anything you gained. Now I wanted to recheck these. I'm outputting 100. I'm going to be inputting 90, even though it says 100. You want to check this. I have a habit sometimes of putting back pressure regulators on the wrong way, and now that I'm looking at this, I think this is the wrong way. What did I do? Not that it matters too much, but I'm pretty sure that's the wrong way. That's the way I want it. See, if you put it that way, now I can't adjust the temperature. So, or the pressure. So I'm going to have to cut this wire. It'll fall to the ground, but that's okay. Now I want the pressure that you want controlled. I always have trouble with back pressure regulators. I want to control the pressure in the room. You know what? I think that might be the right way. Sorry about that. Let's see. We'll try it and find out. So if I set this again to, oops, got to go down first, then go up, go down to 90. To make sure my pressure in here isn't doing crazy things. That looks like the correct way to go. I don't see any air going in, so we'll check on that later. But anyway, if you put the back pressure regulator the correct way, and that is the correct way, because you want the arrow or the input going to the pressure that you want to control. So, ouch. So, I'm trying to control this pressure, so I want the input side on the pressure you want, the area you want to control. So this will be doing nothing right now because the pressure inside here has not reached uh, 90, but it will eventually. It does slow down once that gets to the approximate temperature. On. Oop, open and lock. I know what I'm doing, honest. Alright, so this should be, oh, I got this turned off. Let's turn that on. Is it below 10? Yeah, it's only 9. So, still good there. You see that is going down. That is saying that it is putting air in there. It's just doing it slower. And now that just turned on. 6 megapascals. And I have this turned off, so I want to watch. Turn that back on. So this doesn't get over pressurized. Although now it should be taking CO2 also because I've been using the CO2. Yeah, I'm down to 17.4. That'll catch up in no time though. And I'm going to throw my last little bit of ice in there. Now technically I still want more oxygen than that. That's okay though. And we still are putting air into the room. So that's it. I think our initial atmospherics is complete. Eventually I don't want to do that now because I don't have, I do have 1 megapascal. I could do it, but I will wait a little bit. The last step, which isn't a priority, is to take nitrogen and mix that into your air mixer to get, you want to do it till you get like 10% nitrogen inside your room. And that's up to you. I usually tend to do 10 to 20. It is a neutral gas. It doesn't hurt you at all. Yeah, we're still going up in here. I got 14% in here right now. I think the plants only need 1%. If you get below 1% nitrogen, your plants start to hurt. So, I think that might be it for today. But now, the good part is I have enough oxygen that I'm not going to die. And this will be sorting my oxygen. Once this fills up, it'll be recycling any oxygen that comes back. And I could always add more oxygen, turn that on, in there. So, pretty much complete. So I'm going to go over here and update our thing. And we're going to put the same lines. That's different lines, but that's okay. After atmosphere, because we checked that off the block. Now, next episode, I'm probably going to hit power because I still got 2.5 cans of food left. And although this is working, oh, I haven't checked that in a while. I still got 2 in there? No, I have 1. So I did use 50. I did use 50 coal. It's hardly using anything. Even with these running, it's hardly using anything. So it's working out pretty nice. But I don't want to rely on that totally because then I have to keep monitoring the coal. I could leave this as an emergency power source. So I think next time we're going to go with power. Pretty simple. Most people know how to do it. But I'm trying to keep this at a learner's level. We'll set up a bunch of the heavy, um, let me see what the heavies require here. Heavy solar panel dual is what I want. There it is. I think that's what I want. Solar panel heavy. So I'm going to have to make some astroloy. Why does it do that? I want to look at astroloy. I'm wondering if I need to make an advanced furnace to get this. I do. You cannot make astroloy in a regular furnace. So I'll probably do that behind the scenes. I'll discuss the advanced furnace. I think I'm going to move this maybe over somewhere else. I don't know. We'll move it over there in the corner or something. And then I'll get rid of this because I don't need it anymore. And I'll put my advanced furnace over here somewhere. So that'll be fine. So next episode, advanced furnace, astroloy, and then lots of solar panels to start with. I'll probably go with maybe 10. That's a good round number. But there you go. This is Navy Old Salt Gamer. Hope to see you tomorrow. If you find this entertaining or informative, go ahead and like and subscribe for me. And I'll keep making them. And I'll see you later.